students, today we are going to study about finding the volumes by evaluating the integrals using the disk method and the washer method. Now the disk method. Now understand that in order to find the volume, when the curve is revolving around the x-axis, then what you have to do, you have to write v equals to pi integral sign. Now the equation, if it is moving along the x-axis, then what you have to do, you have to write the equation or of the curve in terms of f of x. So you will write the equation of the graph or the curve. Now since here is the x, so you have to write dx. And you are trying to find out the volume, so take the power 2 on the function. Now for the limits, since the whole equation is written in terms of x, so we will write the lower limit and the upper limit in terms of x. You can write a or b, but just to explain you that the limits should be in terms of x. Similarly, when the equation is revolving round the y-axis, so all the equations should be written in terms of y. That means x equals to f of y. This is the way the equation should look like. Now in order to write the volume, you will write the pi outside and write down the equation of the curve in terms of y, so f of y. Since you are writing here y, you have to write dy. Now the whole equation of the curve in terms of y, so here the limits you will write as the y1 to y2. Make sure that the smaller limit should be written below the integral sign, and as an upper limit you write the higher value. So if you understand this one, go back to the washer method. Now, when we say that it is the washer method, not the disk method, when it is bounded by the two curves. So, look at the graph. You can see that there is the top curve and also there is a bottom curve. So, in that case, when it moves round the x-axis, again the same thing, that the equation should be written in terms of y equals to f of x or y equals to g of x. So to write the formula, you will write v equals to pi. Whether you write the pi inside or right side, outside makes no difference. I prefer to be written outside as it is a constant and it won't make you confused if already it is written pi outside the integral sign. Now, the first function, the square of the first function minus the square of the second function. But make sure that the first function will be top minus bottom. Okay, do not make the whole square over here. Make the bottom curve with the square here and with the square here. Top square minus bottom square. Put the pi over here and here is the volume. Now, one more thing, that since you are writing top minus bottom, so everything is written in terms of x. So you have to write the dx here. And since we are writing the dx, we have to write the x1 and x2 as the lower and the upper limit. Now, in the washer method, in order to find the volume, when the solid is revolving about the y-axis, as we already have seen before also, that the equation should be written in terms of x equals to f of y or x equals to g of y. As we studied in area also, that when it is in terms of y, we go from right to left. Okay, so we have to write out the volume equals to pi. Now right square, the curve with on the right square minus left square. Since every equation is written, right and left equation is written in the y value, so we have to write the dy. So here we will write the y1 as the lower limit and y2 will be written as a higher limit or the upper limit. Let's try to understand the concept by solving few questions. So here is the graph that says the question is find the volume of the solid that results when the shaded region is revolved around the indicated axis. So if you look closely to the figure, you will say that the indicated axis is x-axis. It means that this curve is moving around the x-axis. So if I just move this around the x-axis, you will see that the graph will look like that. But this is not the main purpose. I have to focus on my original graph as they are not asking me to complete the figure. So what I have to write, I will write V equals to, if it is moving across the x-axis, my equation will be pi and I have to write the equation in terms of x. So the equation should be as y equals to f of x. And you can see it's already written in the same way. So I will write the equation of the curve, that is 3 minus x, square root of 3 minus x. According to the formula, I have a power 2. Since it is written the x value, so I will write the dx and I will take my lower and the upper limit as the x value. So the shaded region is starting from -1 till 3. So -1, the smallest value at the lower limit, and 3 could be the higher limit. Now I know how to solve these equations because I know how to integrate them. But here the main purpose is how to write the equation and solve it directly by using the graphic or the scientific calculators. So write it in the scientific calculator. You know that in the scientific calculator there is a cursor which looks like this under the calc. You just write the equation, write the pi over it, write the upper and lower limit, enter and get the answer. If you are dealing with a graphic calculator that is FX9860G2, then you have to go to the math, yani run matrix, math that is F4. Then you will go to the F6, means turnover, and then F1. On the F1, you will get this cursor. Write the equation as it is and get the answer. Don't forget to write the pi over here. So your answer will be 8 pi. That's all. Next question. Here again you have to find the volume of the solid that revolves round the x-axis. Now here you can see that the shaded region is bounded by the two curves. So when we have the two curves, so just to remind you, the formula is top square minus bottom square and dx, and our values should be written in terms of x1 and x2. Now to understand this equation, what is written on the top? The written is the blue line. So blue is a curve and you can see the equation of the curve is 2 minus x whole square. So we will write 2 minus x square whole square minus the bottom curve is the red line that indicates the x square. So the equation of the bottom is here. And since everything is written in terms of x, so you have to write dx. Now what are the points of intersection? The point of intersection is starting from 0 till 1. Now you have to write the x values, okay, not the y values. So it here 0 till 1. Write it in the calculator and get the answer. On writing in the calculator, I will get as 2 pi. That's all. Let's move to the next question. Now here find the volume using the indicated revolving around the indicated axis. Now where it is moving, you can see that it is revolving round the y-axis. So when we have the y-axis, the equation should be written in terms of y, right? But what they are asking, their equation is y equals to 1 over x. Whereas we need the equation in terms of y. It means just cross multiply. So x equals to, x goes on the top, y goes at the bottom. So x equals to 1 over y. So this is the equation which we are going to use. Do not write 1 over x. Okay, please write 1 over y because we want the equation in terms of y. Put the pi over here and don't forget to write the square. Since it is written the y, so we have to write the dy and do not forget to write this command. Now, the equation is written in the form of y, so we have to take the y value. So y value over here, it is 0.5 till the upper value, which is 2. Write down again this in the calculator and your answer will be 4.7123. At least write, if you are writing in terms of the decimal answer, okay, so you have to write at least after the decimal 3 digits. So 4.7123. I'm saying you have to round off till 3 digits. Okay, so look at this one here. Now look at this one, this digit. If the digit is 1, 2, 3 or 4, keep the 2 as it is. It means your answer will be 4.712 approximately. If the last digit will be not 3, it is 5 and above, then you add 1 in this one. That means it will become 4.713. I know that all of you know how to round off because we have studied these things in grade 4. Next question. Okay, so try to understand. Again, we have to find out the volume of the solid revolving around the y-axis. Y-axis, it means the equation should be written in terms of x, whereas it is written y equals to 3 minus 2x. So you have to solve for x. So keep the x here and bring the 3 here. Or you want to make the x positive, so bring the x over here. So negative goes here, bring the x here and bring the y here. This is the most suitable thing. So minus 2x goes there, it becomes positive 2x. And on this side, you keep the 3 as it is. Bring the y on the other side. You will get 3 minus 1. Divide the whole equation by the 2. So you will get now x equals to 3 minus y whole upon 2. Now the equation is written in terms of x equals to f of y. Now to find the volume, okay, of the solid which revolves around the y-axis, we will write the equation pi outside, 3 minus y over 2 inside. Don't forget to put the power 2 and we will write dy. Now we have to write the y values, okay. So the y values is starting from 0 till 2. 0 till 2. Write down in the calculator to get the answer. Now I will tell you one more thing, that in the calculators we won't write the y, we write the x. So anyway, the answer is 13 over 6 pi. Okay, so even if the answer is wrong, please make sure that you are writing it correctly in your calculators. Okay, now look at the question. Find the volume of the solid that results when the region is enclosed by the given curves is revolved about the x-axis. Now look at the question. If you look at the question, two equations are given to us and the point of intersection is not given to us. Why do we need the point of intersection? We need the point of intersection to understand or to write about the lower and the upper limit. So in order to find out the point of intersection, first of all, we keep the two equations equal to each other. So what do? We write 25 minus x square equals to 3. Now solve for x. So take the power 2 on both sides. To remove this square root, we will get 25 minus x square equals to 9. Now bring the x square here and bring the 9 here. So I will get x square as a positive and 25 minus 9 gives me 60. Since it is power 2, so I will take the square root on both sides, and I know that when I take the power 2 square root of any function, I get a positive and a negative answer. So my points of intersection are plus 4 and negative 4. Now I will write my equation and I will find out. I will solve for volume. Now, if they ask you, although in the question they are not asking you to draw the figure, but I can visualize myself, okay? I can visualize that 25 minus x square is with the square root. Actually, it is the equation of circle. So, equation of circle in which if I write here 0, so my answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put negative 5, then I will get 0. If I put here in place of x positive 5, I will get again 0. So this is a kind of semicircle which I will get. And y equals to 3, so it would be a straight line. Now here you can see that the point of intersection, if you are plotting it correctly, it is negative 4 and positive 4. And from here, I can also understand that the upper graph is the equation of the circle and the lower graph is the straight line. Okay, so looking at this part, I will write volume equals to pi. Then since it is bounded by the two curves, so top is square minus bottom is square. And everything should be written in terms of y equals to f of x. So I will write dx. So equation of the top is 25 minus x square and the bottom is 3. My points of intersection are negative 4 till 4. And I will write this now in the calculator and I will get 256 over 3 pi. So let me check also. Yes, 256 over 3 pi. Now some of my students at this stage they says that miss, if we cannot figure out that the graph is a kind of which curve, okay, if they cannot figure out under the pressure or they don't want to graph it, then what is the tip that they get the correct answer? So for those students, what do I say? If you don't have the graphic calculator and you don't have the vision or you don't realize that this is the equation of the curve or you don't want to waste your time in graphing, so what do? Just simply write the first function minus the second function, get the answer. Means first function minus the second function, get the answer. If the answer is coming in the positive, then it means you are good to go. But if you are getting a negative answer, so simply you write this, you interchange the places of your functions. Means, for example, if I write here pi -4 till 4, and first I write the 3 with the power 2, and then I write my equation 25 minus x square whole square, then you will see, and write this in the calculator, you will definitely see that the answer is coming as -256 over 3 pi. So you got my point. So by interchanging the places of the functions, you can just manage the correct answer. So if you are writing like this, you get a negative answer. You just cross it, interchange the places of the function. Now what have you seen? That you get a positive answer, which is absolutely correct. The next question is y equals to e power x, y equals to 0, x equals to 0, x equals to ln of 3, and the curve is revolving around the x-axis, which means the equation should be written in terms of y equals to f of x. So we will write volume equals pi, then top square minus bottom square. So what is the top? Let's suppose top is e power x. And what is the bottom? The bottom is y equals to 0. So just write the 0. Since it is written in terms of x, so you will write here d of x. And now write the x values here. So it is already given x equals to 0 and x equals to ln of 3. Write it directly in the calculator and get the answer. So your answer is 4 pi. So that is how we determine the volume without graphing. Next question. Revolving around the x-axis. Okay, x-axis, which means we should write y equals to f of x form. Now the equation of the first equation is written x equals to root y, which I don't like because I have to write it as y equals to. So I will take the square on both sides. So I will get here y equals to this x square. So this is my first equation. Second equation, it is written as x equals to y over 4. I will solve for y. So I will bring the 4 over on the top. So I will cross multiply. I will get y equals to 4x. Now I am good to go. So now again, I don't have the points of intersection. So I will make the first value of y equals to the second value of y. Now some of the students, they divide by the x or 4x, which is absolutely wrong. Whenever you have the absolute square or the parabola function or the square function or quadratic function, bring this over here. So you will get x square. Bring the 4x on the other side. You will get minus 4x equals to 0. Over here, you can use the calculator to factor out because they won't see your method, how you are solving, or you can do it manually. If you are doing it by using the calculator, you have in the scientific calculator, you will go mode 5.3. In the graphic calculator, you will go in the main menu, in the main window, you will go for the equation F2, F1. Then you will write 1, -4 and 0. But if you are doing the manually, you will take the x common. What is left? X minus 4 is left. One time make x equals to 0, and one time the second factor x minus 4 equals to 0. Bring the -4 on the other sides. You will get x equals to 4. Now what you have to do? You have to write the formula. V equals to pi integral sine x square, the first function, top function, minus the bottom function. Don't forget to put the power 2. Everything is written in terms of x. Don't forget to put the dx. The limits, the smaller number at the below limit, and the upper limit should be a higher number. write it in the calculator and get the answer. Write it in the calculator and get the answer. So let me write for you the answer. So it's pi. Then we have to write here x square whole square minus bracket 4x close power 2, and from here upper limit is 4 and the below limit is 0. So the answer will be, now if I'm writing like this, my answer is minus 2048 over 15 pi. Now just now I have explained that my answer is coming as a negative sign, which means I don't like it and I am doing a mistake. So what I will do to explain you, I told you that you will just interchange the places of the function, which means you will write the 4x first and then you will write the second function, that is x square. Now if you will write in the calculator, you will get 2048 over 15 pi. Now I am on the right path. So I hope that this question is also understood and you have learned from your own mistake that how we just quickly interchange the places of the functions to get a positive answer. Next question, when the solid is revolving around the y-axis, it means the equation should be written in the terms of x equals to f of y. So let's see here, the first function is y equals to ln x, which is not correct because I have to write it in term, I have to solve for x. So in order to get rid of this ln, what do? I raise with the power of e, which cancel my ln because e and ln are the inverse of each other. So I will get here now x equals to, and this is e to the power of y. So this is my first function. The second function already is given as x equals to 0. Now what I will write? I will write volume equals to pi outside. The first function, that is e power y whole square, minus second function, that is 0. The equation is written as a y, so you have to give the command of dy. Now the lower value y is 0 and here y2, that is 1. Write it in the calculator to get the answer. So if you have written it correctly, you will get a positive answer. So the answer is 10.0359. I told you before also that you have to write after the decimal 3 digits. So here it is 5 and after the 5 there is a 9. So what do? Whenever you have 5 or more than that number, you add 1 in this third digit. So your answer will be 10.036. Make sure that you round off the third digit. Okay, so the next question, and for this part the last question. Find the volume of the solid generated when the region under the curve y equals to x square over the interval of 0 till 2 is rotated about the line y equals to -1. First of all, try to understand that what they are telling you. They are saying y equals to x square, you have to draw from 0 till 2. So let's make it, okay, just to show you, I am graphing it properly, but if you understand the concept, no need to graph it. So 0, 1 and 2 are the intervals where I have to graph it. So on the 0, if I replace the 0 with the x, I will get 0. If I replace x by 1, I will get 1. If I replace x by 2, I will get 4. So on the 0, I have 0. On the 1, I have 1. And on the 2, I have the 4. So that is my a kind of graph. Okay. Let's try to make it properly. Okay. So let's make it 0, 1 and 4. A kind of like this. Okay. Okay. Now y equals to negative 1. Where is y equals to negative 1? The y value negative 1 is here. It means I have this line. Now it is rotated about this line. Yani this graph is going to be 0 till this is the 2. Okay. So the graph will be rotated about this line, this red line. So when you rotate, let me just sketch this. When you rotate that line, your graph will be like something like that, right? When you rotate it, you will get a kind of a graph like that. Now understand that how can I write this equation? How to write the volume equation? It is pi, and now I have to rotate it. Now my axis of rotation is not 0 or origin. My axis of rotation is from negative 1. So look at this, okay? To go from down to up to this graph, I have to go like this. So from here till here, it is what? It is 1, right? The distance from negative 1 till 0 is 1. And then all the way to the graph is x square. So what is the total distance it will cover? It will cover 1 plus x square and whole power 2. Since it is x square, so you will write dx. Now the intervals, the limits will be from 0 till 2. Write it in the calculator to get the answer. So I hope that this is also clear to you, that why 1 plus x square, because the axis of rotation is not origin but a certain value of the y. So first of all, in order to reach to the curve, first of all we have to cover the distance from negative 1 till 0, that is 1. Distance cannot be negative, so 1, and plus the curve. So whether you go like this, whether you go from here to there, everywhere you are covering a distance of 1 plus and then the curve. If you write this in the calculator, you will get 206 over 15 pi. Okay, see you in the next video, and in the next video we will try to solve the certain questions which I have covered for you from different AP Calculus exams.